Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the presentation of the full year 2015 preliminary consolidated results of Unipol Group and UnipolSai. I am Alfonso Galante and I am responsible for strategic planning, investor relations and M&A at Unipol Group. I'd like to draw your attention to the fact that today's results are still preliminary, and so are the dividends. They are unaudited and therefore may be subject to changes until March 10th, day of final approval. Nonetheless, as the Board of Directors approved them yesterday to comply with the duty imposed by the banking regulations, we haven't hesitated in disclosing them to the market. From now on, for simplicity's sake, all the references for the full year 2015 results imply that they are still subject to final approval. By publishing the full year 2015 preliminary consolidated results, Unipol Group and UnipolSai completed their 3-year strategic plan approved in 2012 following the acquisition of the Premafin Fondiaria Sai Group. Both groups reported excellent results, hitting the targets set out. Let's now review the full preliminary results. In 2015, the Italian economy experienced a slight recovery. GDP growth was stronger in the first half compared to the second. The financial markets were extremely volatile across the board, especially in the second half of 2015 when they really started to plummet. As a matter of fact, pressure from competition, especially in motor TPL, still affected the average premium, squeezing the total amount of premium rise in P&C. The life production growth was limited, sustained by linked products. In this scenario, full year 2015 results are still positive, both for UnipolSai and for Unipol, supported also by the remarkable results of financial management and in spite of a prudent provisioning policy on banking loans of Unipol Banca covered by indemnity agreement signed by the holding. It's worth underlining that the budget law introduced a new corporate tax rate which will be modified from 27.5% to 24% in 2017. In real terms, this means that Unipol and UnipolSai had to write down DTAs accounted for in balance sheet for 84 million euro at UnipolSai and around 159 million euro for Unipol. Net of this effect, UnipolSai 2015 group net profit reached 793 million euro and Unipol 2015 group net profit was 396 million euro, 821 million euro and 738 million euro respectively if you consider third parties. The non-life segment contribution, gross of tax rate effect in UnipolSai reached 578 million euro, in spite of around 70 million euro of write-downs affecting real estate assets and funds relating to the sector. Life contributed 237 million euro and other segments, real estate plus diversified activities, showed a loss of 78 million euro. At the Unipol level, P&C segment profit was 636 million euro. Life was 235 million euro. Banking showed a loss of 71 million euro. While other posted a loss of 222 million euro. I want to add that the banking segment result includes also the 100 million euro gross provisioning booked by the holding on the NPL's portfolio included in the previously mentioned indemnity agreement. UnipolSai consolidated top line was very close to 14 billion, of which 7.3 in P&C and 6.6 in life. Unipol instead reached 16.5 billion euro, of which 7.9 in P&C and 8.6 in life. Let's have a closer look at UnipolSai P&C top line. It reached 7,334 million euro, a like-for-like decrease of 5.3%. Motor sector stands at 4,254 million euro, while non-motor stands at 3,080 million euro. A split by company shows UnipolSai at 6,998 million euro and 336 million euro from other companies. Unipol accomplished 7,883 million euro, a like-for-like decrease of 4.9%. Motor was 4,423 million euro, the rest of P&C 3,459 million euro. Unisalute performed reasonably well, growth of 11.3% at 301 million euro, more than offsetting Linear's decline, which is mainly linked to the pressure on price in motor vehicle third-party liability sector. In UnipolSai, net combined ratio was 94.6%, bang in line with the one showed in 2014. Unipol instead reached a 93.9% net combined ratio. It was positively influenced by the excellent technical performance of Unisalute and Arca. As a whole, the combined ratio stood across the 3 years plan in the area of 94–95%, a sustainable one, I think. It's pretty much in line with our business plan targets. Motor business combined ratio of UnipolSai was 93.6%, a slight increase compared to 2014 because of a worsening expense ratio, offset by lower top line and increased commissions paid out to the agents network. Customer portfolio showed a like-for-like reduction by 1.1%. What's much more relevant is the impact that came from the decreasing average premium, minus 6.7%, partially offset by lower frequency, 13 basis points. Linear, Unisalute and Arca Assicurazioni as a whole showed a premium collection of 549 million, a slight increase compared to 2014, and an excellent combined ratio 88.8%. Net profit was 65 million euros. UnipolSai consolidated top line in life business was down by 12.3% with respect to 2014. Unipol direct income was down by 3.6% thanks to Arca Vita, which reached roughly 2 billion euro of direct income in 2015. That's an increase of more than 46%. For both companies, traditional products represent more than 60% of the entire income, while the weight of unit-linked products is growing to 24 and 23 respectively. In a market environment of low interest rate, Unipol focused on a stricter underwriting policy and on containing financial risks to be compliant with Solvency II metrics. Net inflows remain positive for all companies, bar Lawrence Life, but lower than the previous year. Let's briefly focus on the contribution of Arca Vita to the holding results. This company has delivered a good net result of 34 million euros. The slight decrease in profit is down to lower income from financial investments and some write-downs on real estate funds. The Arca Vita network has more than 3,000 branches, mainly belonging to Banca Popolare dell'Emilia-Romagna, Banca Popolare di Sondrio and other local popolari and cooperative banks. In the next slide, I have laid out the banking business cornerstone. Gross operating income was 357 million euro. There was a reduction of 48 million euro in extraordinary gains on securities compared to 2014. As I said during the last conference call, these gains totaled 76 million euro last year. Direct deposits are recorded as stable and indirect deposits reached 51 billion euro, increasing by 4.3%. The banking net profit came in at 5 million euro, after 52 million euro of loan loss provisions. On top of that, the holding company booked 100 million euro of provisions in the portfolio covered by the indemnity agreement. We have continued to do a lot of work in the banking business, and we are continuing to support the bank in assessing risk, strengthening our coverage ratio and bringing it towards the high end of market levels. Bad loans are now at 57.3%. We increased coverage in both the past due and unlikely to pay categories. In particular, the latter stood at 19.2%. Look, the total amount of NPLs are stable compared to last year. The net NPL amount decreased approximately by 100 million euro, that means around minus 4%. As for the real estate sector, the breakdown by cluster and by use was the same. However, there was a shifting in the breakdown by sector due to the merger of UnipolSai Real Estate in UnipolSai that led to an increase in properties accounted in the non-life business from 54% as at 9 months 2015 to 71%. The chart on the right hand of the slide shows how we reached the current 4.3 billion euro of assets at Unipol level from the 4.6 billion euro of the last year compared to 9 months 2015. The most important deals were the sale of an important asset and the purchase of some properties pertaining to Fondoro. Write-downs totaled 170 million euros in line with 2014. Around half of them are due to Marina Iloano, Villa Ragionieri and clinics already accounted for 9 months 2015. Moving swiftly on to profits for Unipol's diversified companies, Atotel issued an improving EBITDA and the turnover increased by 20% compared to 2014. All other companies, except clinics, reported an improved EBITDA as well. On the whole, without considering the non-recurring effect of the write-downs on Marina Iloano, there was a strong recovery in the cumulated net results of the 4 companies. The total amount of assets managed by Unipol were 57.7 billion euro as at full year 2015. Bond investments were the favorite asset class as usual, with a percentage of 93.2% on total assets. Around 39 billion euro of the portfolio is invested in Italian govies. That means 72% on total bond investments, in which a limited increase of financial issuers was recorded. Asset allocation is quite similar to the one at UnipolSai, whose total assets amounted to 48.9 billion euro. Looking closer at the profitability of our book, it's fair to say that the extraordinary gains boosted the result to reach 619 million euro of total income for Unipol and 643 million euro for UnipolSai. The ordinary yield for Unipol stood at 3.4%. The overall figure is 4.6%, slightly higher than in 2014. UnipolSai recorded stronger results than previous year with a total yield of 5%. A different asset allocation had a huge impact on these sound results, as well as the closing of some futures as agreed in the first part of 2015. These yields clearly exceeded our target. Turning now to equity. On the UnipolSai level, total equity stood at 6.6 billion euro, 8.4 billion euro at Unipol level. The main negative changes are due to the AFS reserve and dividends paid last year. Positive net results bring up equity to the previous year's level. The AFS reserve stood at 936 million euro at UnipolSai and 982 million euro at Unipol. This is the last time we will show figures on Solvency I. Our capital Solvency I ratio is 177% for UnipolSai and 170% for Unipol, net of payment of the estimated dividends, in line with the solvency ratio target set out in our 3-year strategic plan. The excess capital amounts to 2.8 billion euro for UnipolSai and 3.1 billion euro for Unipol. CET1 as a Unipol banking group is 17.8%. We estimate that UnipolSai will pay 15 cents of dividend per share and Unipol 18 cents of dividend per share. The total amount of dividends that we estimate to distribute is 424 million euro for UnipolSai and 128 million euro for Unipol. We are committed to reward our shareholders. I think that the estimation of dividends for 2015 should meet this goal. That brings me to the end of my presentation. I'm going to hand over to our CEO Carlo Cimbri, who during the conference call scheduled for today at noon Central European Time will briefly set forth the achievements in implementing our strategy since Unipol took control of Fondiaria Sai and will be pleased to handle any questions asked by financial analysts and institutional investors. Thank you very much for listening.